reflect the climate and geography of the islands. They range from subtropical moist broadleaf forests in the RYKY and Bonin Islands, to temperate broadleaf and mixed forests in the mild climate regions of the main islands, to temperate coniferous forests in the cold, winter portions of the northern islands. 95. Japan has over 90,000 species of wildlife as of 2019. 96, including the brown bear, the Japanese macaque, the Japanese raccoon dog, the small Japanese field mouse, and the Japanese giant salamander. 97, a large network of national parks has been established to protect important areas of flora and fauna as well as 52 Ramsar wetland sites. 98, 99. 4 sites have been inscribed on the UNESCO World Heritage List for their outstanding natural value. 100. Environment. Autumn maple leaves, Momiji, at Kongbuji on Mount Kya, a UNESCO World Heritage Site in the period of rapid economic growth after World War II. Environmental policies were downplayed by the government and industrial corporations. As a result, environmental pollution was widespread in the 1950s and 1960s. Responding to rising concern, the government introduced environmental protection laws in 1970. 101. The oil crisis in 1973 also encouraged the efficient use of energy because of Japan's lack of natural resources. 102. Japan ranks 20th in the 2018 Environmental Performance Index, which measures a nation's commitment to environmental sustainability. 103. Japan is the world's 5th largest emitter of carbon dioxide. 92. As the host and signatory of the 1997 Kyoto Protocol, Japan is under treaty obligation to reduce its carbon dioxide emissions and to take other steps to curb climate change. 104. In 2020, the government of Japan announced a target of carbon neutrality by 2050. 105. Environmental issues include urban air pollution, NOx, suspended particulate matter, and toxics, waste management, water purification, nature conservation, climate change, chemical management and international cooperation for conservation. 106. Government and politics. Emperor Naruhito, current head of state, and Empress Meisako participated in the imperial procession by motorcar after the ceremony of the enthronement in Tokyo on the 10th of November 2019. Japan is a unitary state and constitutional monarchy in which the power of the emperor is limited to a ceremonial role. 107. Executive power is instead wielded by the Prime Minister of Japan and his cabinet, whose sovereignty is vested in the Japanese people. 108. Naruhito is the Emperor of Japan, having succeeded his father Akihito upon his accession to the chrysanthemum throne in 2019. 107. Japan's legislative organ is the National Diet, a bicameral parliament. 107. It consists of a lower house of representatives with 465 seats, elected by popular vote every 4 years or when dissolved, and an upper house of councillors with 245 seats, whose popularly elected members serve 6-year terms. 109. There is universal suffrage for adults over 18 years of age. 110. With a secret ballot for all elected offices. 108. The Prime Minister as the head of government has the power to appoint and dismiss ministers of state, and is appointed by the Emperor after being designated from among the members of Diet. 109. Fumio Kishida is Japan's Prime Minister. He took office after winning the 2021 Liberal Democratic Party leadership election. 111. The right-wing Big Tent Liberal Democratic Party has been the dominant party in the country since the 1950s, often called the 1955 system. 112. Historically influenced by Chinese law. The Japanese legal system developed independently during the Edo period through texts such as Kujikato Oseide Migeki. 113. Since the late 19th century, the judicial system has been largely based on the civil law of Europe, notably Germany. In 1896, Japan established a civil code based on the German Bürgerliches Gesetzbuch, which remains in effect with post-World War II modifications. 114. The Constitution of Japan. The National Diet Building, adopted in 1947, is the oldest unamended constitution in the world. 115. Statutory law originates in the legislature, and the constitution requires that the emperor promulgate legislation passed by the Diet without giving him the power to oppose legislation. The main body of Japanese statutory law is called the Six Codes. 113. Japan's court system is divided into 4 basic tiers: the Supreme Court and 3 levels of lower courts. 116. Administrative divisions. Japan is divided into 47 prefectures, each overseen by an elected governor and legislature. 107. In the following table, the prefectures are grouped by region. 117. Prefectures of Japan with colored regions: Hokkaido 1, Hokkaido Thokuto, Aomori 3, Iwate 4, Miji 5, Akita 6, Yamagata 7, Fukushima Kant 8, Ibaraki 9, Tochigi 10, Gunma 11, Saitama 12, Chiba 13, Tokyo 14, Kanagawaku 15, Niigata 16, Toyama 17, Ishikawa 18, Fukui 19, Yamanashi 20, Nagano 21, Gifu 22, Shitsuoka 23, Aichi Kansai 24, Mi 25, Shiga 26, Kyoto 27, Osaka 28, Higo 29, Nara 30, Wakayama Goku 31, Totrai 32, Shimane 33, Okayama 34, Hiroshima 35, Yamaguchi Shikoku 36, Tokushima 37, Kigawa 38, Aim 39, Kukai Kysh 40, Fukuoka 41, Saga 42, Nagasaki 43, Kumamoto 44, Ita 45, Miyazaki 46, Kagoshima 47, Okinawa. Foreign relations. Japan is a member of both the G7 and the G20. A member state of the United Nations since 1956. Japan is one of the G4 nations seeking reform of the Security Council. 118. Japan is a member of the G7, APEC, and ASEAN Plus 3, and is a participant in the East Asia Summit. 119. It is the world's 5th largest donor of official development assistance, donating $9.2 billion in 2014. 120. In 2019, Japan had the 4th largest diplomatic network in the world. 121. Japan has close economic and military relations with the United States, with which it maintains a security alliance. 122. The United States is a major market for Japanese exports and a major source of Japanese imports, and is committed to defending the country, with military bases in Japan. 122. Japan is also a member of the Quadrilateral Security Dialogue, more commonly the Quad, a multilateral security collaboration reformed in 2017 aiming to limit Chinese influence in the Indo-Pacific region, along with the United States, Australia and India, reflecting existing relations and patterns of cooperation. 123, 124. Japan's relationship with South Korea had historically been strained because of Japan's treatment of Koreans during Japanese colonial rule, particularly over the issue of comfort women. In 2015, Japan agreed to settle the comfort women dispute with South Korea by issuing a formal apology and paying money to the surviving comfort women. 125. As of 2019, Japan is a major importer of Korean music, K-pop, television, K-dramas, and other cultural products. 126, 127. Japan is engaged in several territorial disputes with its neighbors. Japan contests Russia's control of the southern Kuril Islands, which were occupied by the Soviet Union in 1945. 128. South Korea's control of the Lion Court Rocks is acknowledged but not accepted as they are claimed by Japan. 129. Japan has strained relations with China and Taiwan over the Senkaku Islands and the status of Okinotorishima. 130. Military. JMSDF-CON class destroyer. Japan is the second highest ranked Asian country in the 2022 Global Peace Index, after Singapore. 131. It spent 1% of its total GDP on its defense budget in 2020. 132, and maintains the 9th largest military budget in the world. 133. The country's military, the Japan Self-Defense Forces, is restricted by Article 9 of the Japanese Constitution, which renounces Japan's right to declare war or use military force in international disputes. 134. The military is governed by the Ministry of Defense, and primarily consists of the Japan Ground Self-Defense Force, the Japan Maritime Self-Defense Force, and the Japan Air Self-Defense Force. The deployment of troops to Iraq and Afghanistan marked the first overseas use of Japan's military since World War II. 135. The government of Japan has been making changes to its security policy, which include the establishment of the National Security Council, the adoption of the National Security Strategy, and the development of the National Defense Program Guidelines. 136. In May 2014, Prime Minister Shinzo Abe said Japan wanted to push the passiveness it has maintained since the end of World War II and take more responsibility for regional security. 137. Recent tensions, particularly with North Korea and China, have reignited the debate over the status of the JSDF and its relation to Japanese society. 138, 139. Domestic law enforcement. The headquarters of the Tokyo Metropolitan Police Department. Domestic security in Japan is provided mainly by the prefectural police departments, under the oversight of the National Police Agency. 140. As the central coordinating body for the prefectural police departments, the National Police Agency is administered by the National Public Safety Commission. 141. The Special Assault Team comprises national-level counter-terrorism tactical units that cooperate with territorial-level anti-firearms squads and counter-NBC terrorism squads. 142. The Japan Coast Guard guards territorial waters surrounding Japan and uses surveillance and control countermeasures against smuggling, marine environmental crime, poaching, piracy, spy ships, unauthorized foreign fishing vessels, and illegal immigration. 143. The Firearm and Sword Possession Control Law strictly regulates the civilian ownership of guns, swords and other weaponry. 144, 145, according to the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime, among the member states of the UN that report statistics as of 2018. The incidence rates of violent crimes such as murder, abduction, sexual violence and robbery are very low in Japan. 146, 147, 148, 149, Economy. Skyscrapers in Nakanoshima. Osaka, a major financial center in Japan, has the world's third largest economy by nominal GDP, after that of the United States and China, and the fourth largest economy by PPP. As of 2020, Japan's labor force is the world's eighth largest, and consists of 66.5 million workers. 3. As of 2021, Japan has a low unemployment rate of around 2.8%. 150. Its poverty rate is the second highest among the G7 nations, 151, and exceeds 15.7% of the population. 152. Japan has the highest ratio of public debt to GDP among advanced economies, 153, with national debt estimated at 248% relative to GDP as of 2022. 154. The Japanese yen is the world's third largest reserve currency after the US dollar and the euro. 155. Japan was the world's fourth largest exporter and importer in 2021. 156, 157. Its exports amounted to 15.6% of its total GDP in 2020. 158. As of 2019, Japan's main export markets were the United States, 19.8%, and China, 19.1%. 109. Its main exports are motor vehicles, iron and steel products, semiconductors and auto parts. 3. Japan's main import markets as of 2019 were China, 23.5%, the United States, 11%, and Australia, 6.3%. 109. Japan's main imports are machinery and equipment, fossil fuels, foodstuffs, chemicals, and raw materials for its industries. 109. The Japanese variant of capitalism has many distinct features. Keiretsu enterprises are influential, and lifetime employment and seniority-based career advancement are common in the Japanese work environment. 159, 160. Japan has a large cooperative sector, with 3 of the world's 10 largest cooperatives, including the largest consumer cooperative and the largest agricultural cooperative as of 2018. 161. It ranks highly for competitiveness and economic freedom. Japan ranked 6th in the Global Competitiveness Report in 2019. 162. It attracted 31.9 million international tourists in 2019. 163, and was ranked 11th in the world in 2019 for inbound tourism. 164. The 2021 Travel and Tourism Competitiveness Report ranked Japan first in the world out of 117 countries. 165. Its international tourism receipts in 2019 amounted to $46.1 billion. 164. Agriculture and Fishery. A rice paddy in Aizu, Fukushima Prefecture. The Japanese agricultural sector accounts for about 1.2% of the total country's GDP as of 2018. 109. Only 11.5% of Japan's land is suitable for cultivation. 166. Because of this lack of arable land, a system of terraces is used to farm in Smilleries. 167. This results in one of the world's highest levels of crop yields per unit area, with an agricultural self-sufficiency rate of about 50% as of 2018. 168. Japan's small agricultural sector is highly